In the next 10 minutes, you're going to learn how to build an Eliza AI agent from scratch with no programming skills, and at the end, earn $100 in crypto. Your agent is going to be able to post on Twitter, interact with users, and act autonomously on its own, all powered by the Livepeer network. Let's get started. There are 3 steps to setting up your Eliza agent. First, we have to make sure we have a machine to run the agent. Second, we need to install Node.js. And then third, we need to install the Eliza GitHub repo and create our character. So the first step we're going to go through in this tutorial is getting your machine set up. So if you already have a Linux machine or a Mac machine, then you can actually skip this step. But for those of us that are brand new, we're going to be actually renting a machine so that we can autonomously run our unit. So the first thing we're going to do is, in our case, we're going to be heading over to DigitalOcean and renting a droplet. There's only one requirement. You need 8 gigabytes of RAM in order to run an Eliza agent. Those requirements may go up in the future, but in our case, we can actually go ahead and get this DigitalOcean droplet here with 8 gigs of RAM, and you can use any provider you want. I'm just using DigitalOcean. I've had good luck with them in the past. So the only requirements, it doesn't matter where it's located, just make sure you have Ubuntu 24 installed. Again, 8 gigs of RAM seems to be the minimum for running an agent. We create our password for our node. We can scroll down and go ahead and just create this droplet. And it's currently setting up. And when the droplet is ready, you'll see it'll pop up to this page here where we have the new IP address that it's issued us right here. And obviously we have our machine up and running. And it's that simple to create a droplet. Next thing we're going to do is log into the droplet. In this tutorial, we're going to be using MobaXterm to log into our machine. If you are using a local machine, you just open up your terminal and get started. But in this case, you can just download MobaXterm and log in. So we go to the top left, open a new session. We're going to be using SSH. Paste in the remote host IP address that you got from earlier, and we're going to be logging in with root. Once we go ahead and access the machine, it might ask you to prompt to put you in your password. We can now go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to do is install Node.js. The way we're going to do this is we're going to install NVM Package Manager first. So you can easily go to their repo and download and follow the commands. Otherwise, I have put all the commands in this tutorial. You go here and you can just copy and press the middle mouse button to paste. Once we've done that, we can go down and copy this second command, which now enables NVM on our machine. And you can check it by typing in nvm-v, and we should have our current version. Next, we're going to download Node.js, which is we're going to be downloading specifically 23.3. Now it's important that we get 23.3. Any other version may not work with Eliza. It is in their documentation. If you come up here and click on common issues and we scroll up, it does specifically say we need Node.js 23 plus, but I've found you need it 23.3 specifically. So we can go to our terminal and install Node.js, which is nvm install 23.3, and it will continue to do that. We now have it installed. We can scroll down, and also we need pnpm. That is, again, a part of Node.js, and you can see it has been successfully installed, and we can even type in node-v, and we get our 23.3 version right there. So we now have Node.js installed. Next, we're going to clone the Eliza repo. So we're going to git clone the latest Eliza repo. Now, this is going to give us all the files we need to run our agent. And now that the Eliza repo has been put on our computer, you can see that if we can just change directory into it, we can also just check the directories, make sure it's arrived, or refresh at the top left. And we now have this Eliza folder. So we're going to change directory into the Eliza folder, cd Eliza, and now we're going to check out the main branch. By default, it checks out the develop branch, which has a lot of bugs in it, and it can be really difficult to use sometimes. So just make sure you're on the main. This is already pointed to main, so that's great. Just make sure you're on the main branch, else you might run into bugs. Now we're going to build the Eliza agent. This is pm install. You go here and you paste that. And now it's going to install all the packages to make your Eliza program run. This may take a while, so bear with me. And while this is installing, I would recommend checking out the official documentation for the Eliza framework. You can click it here, and this will bring up common issues that you might run into when installing Node.js or different issues you might be having. So definitely check that out as you are running into issues. Okay, you can see that it is successfully installed now. So we're going to continue on and we're going to build the Eliza agent. So you can run that. And if you see at the bottom, you can see we're approaching just over 4 gigs of RAM being used, spiking up to about 5 or 6 gigs of RAM. So again, the building process is what takes a lot of the RAM and requires for the 8 gigs. So just keep that in mind. All right, that took quite a while. I think that took about 15 minutes to get through that. But as you can see, we have successfully built all 147 plugins and all these you can use. Anyway, we got the build done. Now we're going to continue on with the rest of the tutorial. So we now have the ability to launch our agent. First thing we're going to do is we're going to copy over the .env file. Now, what this is right now, it's just an example file up here. We can type in this, which is copy the env to the .env, and we refresh the page up at the left, and you can see there's this new file here, which we can open up, and it has our configuration in it. And there's tons of configuration for all the different plugins, but the one we're most interested in is this one called Livepeer. And it's right here. Now, by default, we have this cloud gateway URL in here. So this is a free gateway for people who want to try out Livepeer. But you can also use this link right here, which is the livepeer-eliza.com link, which gives us the documentation for other integrations, different models you can use, and a quick start on how to get involved, as well as other gateways that Livepeer offers. So yeah, that is just the configuration. We don't actually have to touch any of this, so we're just going to exit out and continue on. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to, which talks about what we just talked about there, we're going to actually pick a character. So this is in the characters folder. So right here at the top left, in the characters folder, there's a lot of default characters. Now you can create your own character. In our example, we're going to use C3PO. We're going to go into this file, and you can see there's bio and lore and knowledge and all these great things. Again, if you want to learn about all these different sections about your agent, I do have a link to character building, and it should be right here. It's not. I'll add a link to it though, so there'll be a link here for how to build characters, as well as a character file generator that you can use for free. So in our case, just to enable C3PO to run as our agent, all we have to do is change the model provider to Livepeer. And this is an example of what it'll look like. So if we head over to our terminal, or sorry, to our file, right up here it says model provider. The default for C3PO is Anthropic. So we can just type in Livepeer, and we can save that. And when we come over here, that's it. Technically, we have our Eliza agent. It is live. We're going to give it some functionality, though. In this case, we want it to post on Twitter. So we're going to grab this settings section. We're going to paste it in there. Just going to make sure that the curly brackets are in the right spot. So this right here is your secrets. Your secrets are going to be your username, password, email, and handles that you want to follow. So I'm going to quickly fill this in. I've entered the information for the agent. In this case, it's going to be following one Twitter account called Titan Node, which is my account. So it'll be replying to me and interacting with me. Be careful who you do follow. It can be a bit spammy if you start following strangers and they're getting attacked by a bot. And we can go ahead and close this. Now to launch our agent, we just simply scroll down and we do pm start, and then the location and name of the character. So we'll put that down there, and we'll have it run. And once it's running, it'll look something like this, and we can easily go over to our X account where it's posting, and you'll see it's successfully posting to the page. So there's a lot of other integrations like Discord and Telegram. I'd recommend checking out those documentation. You can always implement it somewhere else. And we can also run it in a tmux so that it runs 24/7. This is optional, but if we cancel out of this and just type in tmux, we can run it in here and it will just launch within this window. You can always exit out, or you can press Control-BD and you will be back into your main screen, and it's running in the background. To reattach, you just simply type in tmux attach -T0 or whatever window it's in, and you'll be back at it. Now let's finalize this tutorial with the reward. Now the reward is this form. You're going to click, and you're simply going to fill in your nickname, how you'd like to be contacted in the future, whether it's Telegram, Discord, or email, your Arbitrum address, so this is your EVM address you'd like to get paid out on, your tokens, and then also you put in the IP address of the machine that is running the Eliza agent. This way we can track that you are using the Livepeer network for inference. We are going to do a snapshot of who is using the network, and we're going to be able to airdrop that into their wallet based on usage. So keep your Eliza agent running until March 25th, 2025. You will receive your airdrop after a snapshot. Don't worry about if it's turned off for a couple days. We'll do a couple snapshots along the way. Make sure that everyone who used us is in fact getting rewarded. The purpose of this form is also an ability for us to reach out with our new plugin feature that's coming later this year, which is a VTuber plugin. So this is a live streaming plugin that will be built for the Eliza agent that makes your agent go live. So it can go live on Twitter and different platforms that allow live streaming, maybe Twitch, and it will create a fully autonomous generated video that is interactive with your users and followers. So yeah, check us out, put down your information. We'll get back to you when we launch this, and there'll be also credits and rewards and prizes for that as well. So that concludes how to run an agent. Really appreciate you watching this tutorial. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach us on our Discord, whether it's in the Livepeer Discord channel or whether it's in the AI16Z channel. You can reach any of us, which is Titan Node, Define, or Chase Media. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.